So a few days ago, Georgia coach Kirby sat down with Josh Pate, who I believe works for On3, one-on-one sit-down interview, and had a lot to say about his superstar tight end Brock Bowers, who, again, I feel like I have to say this, is the best college football tight end of all time, and I don't think it's even close. Here's what Kirby had to say about Brock Bowers and what made Brock Bowers and still makes him special. Here's what Kirby had to say. He said, "I don't know if I'll ever coach another guy like that." That's what he told Josh Pate. He said, "He's just different. He's big, physical, fast, smart. No moment is too big for him. He's a high character kid. I just don't think I'll ever see someone like that at that position for the rest of my career. I've never seen someone quite like him." And I think everyone else is saying the same thing. Brock Bowers is one of the best football players I've ever seen play with my two eyes. And he hasn't even taken a snap in the NFL yet. That's how good Brock Bowers is. He's up there with some of the best college football players I've ever seen. Nick Chubb, Todd Gurley, Joe Burrow. I've seen a lot of great ones. Brock Bowers is up there. And I want to tell a quick story because Brock Bowers he doesn't talk a lot, but he is a guy who should probably be picked in the top 10 for a reason. But here's why Brock Bowers is different. I heard this story about a year ago. So during practice, all the Georgia players have the GPS trackers on. So the coaches and the assistants can go back and just see how fast these guys are going through practice. And everyone starts off great. They're at their high. They're giving every rep they have 100%. But occasionally, on a hot day or towards the end of practice, their speed dips down a little bit, right? And they're not giving it 100%. I was told that Brock Bowers is the only guy who, 99, 100. It does not dip down with any particular rep, time of the day, time of practice, no matter what. Brock Bowers stays the same at max effort every single rep. The guy practices like it's the Super Bowl, like it's a game. Every rep he does, he gives it his very best. And I don't even know if guys like Kamari Laster, Nick Chubb, some of these hardworking, competitive guys that have come through the program, I don't even know if they gave as much effort as Brock Bowers did. But he's a special guy. And we knew from day one, because you have to remember, and I don't want to get in trouble for saying this, but Brock Bowers did not play his senior year of high school because left-wing politicians in California said, no, we're just not having it. We're canceling high school football this season because we think that no high school football will eliminate the virus. The virus will magically just disappear if we cancel high school football. Like the idiots they are, they were incorrect. Like most politicians in this country, they were wrong, and no one's surprised by that. Anyway, even though his senior season was stolen from him by those politicians, Brock Bowers still got to Georgia as one of the best players on the team. He led the team in receptions against Clemson, a top 5 program. Brock Bowers went out and caught the most passes, made a big impact for an offense that was struggling to move the ball. You look back on it, thank God they did have Brock Bowers. He was the only reliable offensive weapon they had that entire game. They didn't even score a touchdown. Chris Smith had to score that touchdown on a pick 6, the only touchdown in the game. But Brock Bowers, I think, caught like 6 passes. And I remember everyone thinking, okay, we heard a lot about this kid, but he's a lot better than we thought. UAB next week takes the pass 80 yards, running by guys. That's when you started to know, okay, this kid's special. But then he made jaw-dropping catch after jaw-dropping catch, running by defenders. He checks every box. Remember the time you played Madden or NCAA, you go to your favorite player and you give him a little extra strength, a little extra speed, a little extra agility, better hands. You don't have to do that with Brock Bowers. He's got it all. I think he may have, I don't even want to say dropped, but there might be 2, maybe 3 passes that went his way his entire career that hit his hands, would have been a tough catch, but that he didn't come up with it. The guy was as reliable, as dependable as anyone out there. He was explosive. He was a pass-catching machine. And he's not your average tight end. Mel Kiper Jr. keeps saying that. If you're the Chargers, I know there's a lot of great receivers out there. There's not another tight end in college football or in the NFL right now that can do what Brock Bowers is doing. And that's going to sound crazy. I know Travis Kelce is incredible. I know there's a lot of tight ends in the NFL who are very, very good. There's not a single starting tight end in the NFL right now that runs like Brock Bowers, who has breakaway speed like Brock Bowers. The guy is incredible. And one reason why I think Brock Bowers became one of Kirby's favorite players is because of that work ethic. Here's what Zion Logue had to say about Kirby Smart. Someone asked him about this during the combine. He said, Kirby's just so demanding. He wants perfection from the way you eat your cereal to the way you tie your shoes. We prepare more than anyone else in the country. And Brock Bowers does that. He epitomizes hard work, dedication, just get everything you have. No taking breaks. This guy's not taking breaks out there on the practice field on Saturdays. No, you can tell that he gives 100% max effort. And that's why he was able to catch 175 passes for 2,538 yards, 26 touchdowns. That's just through the air, just catching the ball. He was also a reliable, runner when they needed to on the jet sweeps or whatever. I think they just straight handed the ball off to him on a key third and 2, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3 against Auburn this past year. They needed a first down in a big way. They got all those stable of running backs, and they said, you know what, we got to pick this up. We're going to give it to Brock Bowers. We're not going to throw it to him. We're not going to get cute or fancy with it. We're just going to hand it to him. And he picked up that first down. He does everything. He helps in the screen game, the short passing game. Ask Georgia Tech and South Carolina what he can do after the catch. He can stretch the field vertically. Just ask Kentucky, ask TCU. The guy can win jump balls. He does everything. And I just hope that Georgia fans realize what they had in Brock Bowers and Athens. And I think they do. Every Georgia fan will remember Brock Bowers as one of the best players in school history, as they should. 2-time national champion, 2-time John Mackey Award winner, should have been a 3-time Mackey Award winner. He was the best tight end in college football for 3 straight years. And he'll probably be one of the best tight ends in the NFL next year as a rookie, if he's in the right system. But it's hard to screw this kid up. The only way he doesn't become a bona fide superstar is if he's at a place with just terrible quarterback play and just bonehead coaching. And there is bonehead coaching out there, and there's way too much terrible quarterback play in the NFL. Get him the ball. Get him the ball. That's what Stetson Bennett did. That's what Carson Beck did. Remember against Auburn when Georgia was down? It was not looking good in the second half in a crazy, raucous environment. Carson Beck stepped up. He made big throws, but he looked to Brock Bowers, and Brock Bowers basically put the offense on his back down the stretch in that game and beat Auburn. Auburn wants no part of Brock Bowers ever again. They're thanking God right now that he is off to the NFL. South Carolina is saying the same thing. Florida is saying the same thing. Georgia Tech, Tennessee, all of them. Nobody wants to see Brock Bowers in Athens anymore, and they got their wish because he's gone off to the NFL to have a very, very good career. But, Kirby knows what he had, and that's one of the positions on this team where they're going to take a step back. Love Oscar Delp. Y'all know this. I was talking about Oscar Delp before anyone. I was talking about, I know how good he is. I know how good Lawson Lucky is. I watched him play in high school several times. I covered Pierce Spurlin in high school. I know if you're the average Georgia fan, you may not know the ins and outs of these backup tight ends, but they're very good. The kid they brought in from Stanford, he's going to play. The incoming freshman, true freshman Jaden Riddell, he might be a superstar. Maybe not this year as a freshman, but at some point, it wouldn't surprise me if he became one of the best tight ends in college football. So they've got guys, but you can't replace Brock Bowers. You can't do it. You can try to replace his production, but you can't replace his talent because he's arguably, probably, most likely the most talented tight end ever in college football. The numbers say so. The rings say so. The film says so. He's an incredible player and one that maybe should have a statue outside of Sanford Stadium. Kirby will get one at some point. Stetson Bennett might get one. Georgia is a program where if they keep winning and winning championships, there's going to be statues of guys just all around Sanford Stadium. Now, you can't put it, in several places because it's kind of tucked in there on campus beautifully, though. The trees everywhere, the buildings. I mean, it's tucked in there. You got the train tracks back there, but I think you know what I'm talking about. He's an all-time Georgia Bulldog and one of the best players in college football history. I don't think that's a stretch to say. When you're clearly the best at your position to ever play the game, you should be in the conversation as one of the best players ever in college football. And I think Kirby and myself would both agree there. He is a special talent. You don't see guys like him very often. And will probably not see a tight end like him come through Athens. Others may be close, but Brock Bowers is different. He is a generational tight end, and he's a big reason why Georgia has won 2 of the last 3 national championships. So that's what Kirby said about Brock Bowers. And I think you probably agree. I agree. I can't wait to watch him in the NFL. Thanks for watching this video. You can read more about Brock Bowers and everyone else over on Dawg Post. You can do that by signing up to our free newsletter. That link is down below. It's free to sign up, free to read stories on the website. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something, and I hope to see you over on the website.